Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. As you can see, we got Sherby the goose here, who's going to want to join in and talk to us. But what you've just seen there is you've just seen a lot of the ducks that we have. It is a little bit dark, I'm afraid, unfortunately, in there, but they've all gone and put themselves away. That's a lot of the ducks that we've got because we've hatched out 2 lots this year. So we've got quite a few in there. And what we'll do this time is we will go, let's go this way. Let's go across here. And basically, what we're going to do today, see, look at Jake. He's still available if you want to buy him. He's just over a year old, but he's going to come and try to attack me because they don't like black wellies. I don't know what it is, but it's black wellies. The chickens and the geese just really don't seem to like them. Anyway, well, where was we? What was we saying? Yep, Sherby, I know you need some more water. Okay. It's weird because we got Sherby there who comes up and says hello to me, and I can go up and I can touch and I can fuss and handle without any problems at all. But all the rest of them, they all just like stay that little bit backwards. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes, it's August. It is end of August, nearly September, nearly time for the kids to go back to school already. I know, it doesn't seem like yesterday since they broke up. So what we'll do is we'll do our little August review video because I have been speaking to some of you guys. Some of you guys have hooked me up over Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/annoyedad, if you liked our page previously, you might have to like it again because we lost the page and then we've had to start it back up again. And there's been a few people saying, oh, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? What's going on here, there and everywhere else? So I thought it was an ideal opportunity just to give you a quick little update. So as you know, this year, well, as you might know, this year for an experiment, I'm growing some corn. And I am 6'3" tall. And that corn's a good 6 inches taller than what I am. A good 6 inches taller. And we're also growing pumpkins as well. So you can see these trailing out. These are the pumpkins. You can see where it's attacking the corn and the corn's going like, no! And it's going, yes, you will be attacked. So down here, see we've got a pumpkin, but if you look closely, you see it's got the knobbles on it. So it's going to be one of the knobbly pumpkins. Need to get some stuff underneath them. And if we come around here, you can see we've got another pumpkin. That's going to be a smooth one, I think that is. And there is just loads of them dotted about. Some of the plants are starting to go with all of this white stuff. I don't know what that is. If you're a pumpkin expert, please let me know down below. But they are doing fantastic. And if we come around here, you can see the corn is starting to get its heads on it. It's not very, that one there is not very big. That one there is much bigger. It's not quite ready yet, but it's slowly getting there. That's going to be fantastic when we come to open up that. And if we jump over here, you can see this later corn is still trying to catch up, but it's getting there slowly. And we've got all the pumpkins down there. You can see if I jump over the fence, let's go and give it a go. See all the flowers that have now gone in because it's 7:30 at night and it's already getting dark. But if half of those turn into pumpkins, that's going to be a mammoth pumpkin patch we're going to have down here. So the grapevines we put in earlier on in the year, oh yep, nearly walked on that one. Ah, see, hiding down there. The grapevines we put in earlier on in the year, they haven't really done a lot this year. There's another, which is quite good because that means that they're doing a lot down below, a lot with the roots and that is going on. But if you do look closely, you can just make out, we got some grapes just there. Woohoo! So maybe next year we'll be having Annoyed Dad wine or something. Oh, here comes Trouble and Troubler. Coming over to see what I am up to. So yeah, as I was saying, this is the August update, and I don't think we did a July one because everything just went mad with work and crazy and really busy. So we've done that bit. We have got coming up, we've got a lot of chicks that have hatched out, as part of an upcoming video. So I will show you those at the end. And just down here, we got the bees. They are still working. They're not flying very much just now because of the time of night. So we might get the odd one or two that come back. We might not get any at all whilst I explain this little bit. Now you might be aware that this year in the UK the weather in May, June was wet. It was just rain, 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 rain. See, there's one coming back. And bees don't like to fly in the rain. So this year we have decided we're not going to take any honey harvest whatsoever. Nothing. Whatever the bees have got, we're going to leave it on there. It's not even going to be enough to see them through the winter, and we are going to have to feed them, give them some syrup to actually take them through the winter. Not the most ideal of things to want to do, but it's just one of those things that you have to do. And what I'm going to do very shortly in the next few days is I'm going to go up to our old place where I've still got some hives up there with bees in, and I'm going to bring those bees down here, and I'm going to give them their winter treatment for the varroa, which is a little mite that gets on the back of bees, and it can basically wipe out an entire colony. So yeah, they are going to be coming down here. We're going to give them the treatment, and fingers crossed they're going to overwinter okay, and then next year hopefully the weather's going to be a lot better. Now let's go and have a look somewhere else. Now there's somewhere else that we don't normally tend to talk about too much is the layers flock. These are ex-battery hens. Well, they're not battery hens, they came from an organic farm, and I was told I was rescuing them when I went to pick them up, but you know, anyway, long story short, that one that just ran out, that's a leghorn. They're a bit mad, they are, but that's one that we hatched out ourselves. So yeah, these guys, they are what do you call them? Let's call them the commercial layers, because that's what they were basically. And they were laying fantastically well, but now they've just decided, you know, well, let's just slow things down a little bit. Oh, there's some over here, look. They've just said, yeah, let's slow things down a little bit. We're not going to lay as many just at the minute. And we've gone from getting about 25 to 30 eggs a day off of them, and we're down to maybe 15. Some of them have started to molt, but that could also be down to the atrocious weather that we've had this year. I'm not going to say this summer, because it's, well, yeah, it hasn't been very good at all really. So yeah, these guys have slowed down a little bit, so I'm going to be looking at replacing them at some point, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to replace them, or what I'm going to replace them with, or what we're going to do in that respect. If we come over here, you can see we got three, hopefully you can see if the camera doesn't focus in on the wire. See, we've got 3 turkey poults in with Stephen. These guys were in our big brooder that I will show you in just a second, but they started to attack some of the chicks that were going in there, and obviously we can't have that, so they've been moved in with Stephen for a little bit of company for him, but they should be ready for Christmas. We've actually got some more of these in the incubator ready to go. Well, I would go in the brooder, but it's just a little bit too dark at the minute to actually be able to see anything in there. So we got some chicks. These were the chicks that hatched out underneath the chickens that we keep near the entrance. Oh, that means nothing to you guys, does it? Absolutely nothing. Right, let's start that again. So we got some chicks in here. These were hatched out underneath a hen. We've got a group of black banthams, and the daddy's got a little bit of colour in him, as you can see in that one there. There's a little bit of gold in them. So those guys are in there for just a minute. And we've got a few others. Let's see if we can see where the duck is. He's hiding. It's all dark in there. And he's run away. There he is. He's hiding just at the back there. See if we can zoom in. Don't focus in on the wire. Focus in on the duck. Come on, camera. You can do it. No, it can't. It's too dark. But anyway, there's a little duck down the back there. And he's one of the youngsters of the ducks that we placed that you would have just seen at the start of this video. But this morning when I came up here, it was getting walked on by the geese, and it wasn't trying to get in to get to the feed like it really ought to be. So I just grabbed it out and I placed it in there, and it seems as if it's happy and healthy and running around. It's had a big feed to it and a few other bits and pieces as well today. So yeah, it looks quite happy. Beware the orchard, it is ruled by the chickens. You all right up there, you ugly thing? There we go. That's one of the naked necks. It's a really, really strange one. Just looking at the colours on it. But that's a bantam. That's probably about as big as it's going to get. And the one that ran past, that's what's called a light Sussex. And that was about as big as that is going to get. And that's what's called a large fowl bird. So yeah, these guys seem to like it in here. in the orchard. You can see that the apples are really starting to come on now. So it won't be too much longer, we'll start the apple harvest. And I was in here earlier on and I was looking at this tree, and if we go, hopefully it's not too dark, go up there and you can see my plums. They are so very nearly ready. They're rock hard still, but it won't be too much longer and then they'll be ready. The fruit harvest this year is going to be a lot smaller than it was last year, which in one way is good because I just had so much, I wasn't able to do very much with it all. We did make some cider and we made some apple sauces and a few other bits and pieces. But yeah, that was just too much for us and we wasn't able to handle it all. But again, because of the weather this year, it's not going to be the greatest of harvest, but I think we'll still get a few bits. Like, look at the colour of that one. It's a bit of a different colour. I don't think we had this one last year. It might be because that tree's a biannual tree, or it might just be because last year it was a... last year, this was underneath about 8 foot of growth and everything else like that. So these are plum trees at the back. There's a few on there, a few apples. Cherry trees, as I've always explained, are just useless, absolutely useless. They're only good for the bees because the instant that the cherries are ripe, they get stolen by all of the wild birds. See, these are owned by the wife. They're her birds, not my birds. I just think they are absolutely ugly things. The ugliest things from Uglyville. Or, as one of my friends would say, they came from the planet of the ugly, through the ugly space, fell through the ugly air, hit the ugly tree, smacked every single branch on the way down and ended up in an ugly puddle underneath. And that's what I think they are.